Alright, I'm just going to do a quick cleaning of the print. I've got a little bit of TSP mixed up in a little tub and just lightly dampen a paper towel. And I'm just going to go over to wipe it down a couple times and quickly dry it off after each time I wipe it down. I also clean the frame. I'm just going to leave the frame alone. It's got some wear on the edges, so just leave it alone. Okay, we're back. It's a couple weeks later. I'm going to put the print back in the frame. I cleaned it. And I had some new glass made. It took a long time to get the glass made. They were backed up at the glass shop. And of course, I'm going to put this in a frame. And I was originally going to make a frame. I was out at a garage sale this past weekend and found two frames that are the right size. This one's actually a nice print as well. So I'm going to save this print. I'm going to just clean this one up. This one's in good shape. I'm just going to clean that up and keep that in the frame. This one's a nice old one, and it's got an old high school picture in the middle, but it was all obliterated by a marker. So the frames are only $2, plus they came with the glass. So I actually bought the glass. I probably didn't even need the glass. So I'm going to see if I can use this glass, or I'll just use the new glass. Okay, this is no good. Somebody obliterated this with a marker or a pencil or something. So I might even use that as a backboard on the other print. Just like the diploma was used as a backboard. See how that works? Now I'll take this glass out and I'll clean it and see what it looks like, if it's usable. And I mix my own glass cleaner, just half vinegar and half water. So I'll save a lot of money on glass cleaning. Okay, there's some brown residue on the glass here. I think it's some nicotine from some cigarette smoke. I'm going to take some alcohol and try to wipe that off. That piece of glass is in great shape, cleaned up nicely. So I'm going to use that for the diploma. There's about an 1/8 inch gap all the way around the edge of the glass. So I'm just going to use a little hot melt glue and just put a little dab of glue there to act as a spacer. Now the diploma is just a little bit small for the frame. So what I'm going to do is take that class picture that was in here, and I did try to clean it. There was some pencil on it, but pencil didn't come off, so it's no good. So what I'm going to do is put the diploma on here, and I painted the border of that black. So I'm going to glue the diploma to the other picture, and if there's just a little bit showing on the edge, it'll just be black. So just a little bit of wood glue, and I'll glue that on. Now I let that dry for a couple of hours. Now I'm ready to put it in the frame. With the backing on the diploma, it fits flush with the frame, And I'm just going to fit the old nails that were in the frame back in their holes. And just use a brad pusher to push them in. Now I'm going to put paper on the back of the frame. I'm going to spread some yellow glue around the edge. Just want to put a thin film of glue around the edge. And then take the picture and lay it on the paper and wiggle it around just a little bit to get the glue to stick. And then just carefully lift it off the table, take it back over to the bench, and press the paper into the glue. Then take a razor blade and trim off the excess. Now I'm measuring for the hangers. I had some little strap hangers left over from another project. So now I'm going to put a new wire on. Now on to the print. I'm going to use one of my new pieces of glass for this. Carefully clean the glass before I put the print in. Now this one I'm going to hold in place with some blocks. I'm going to use some hot melt glue and put some glue blocks around all the way around the edge. Okay, the framing project is all done. Here's the original print that I found at the Glenburn cleanup. Has the train station and the train. It's called Lonely Station by an artist named Dar. I couldn't find any information on this artist, but there's a date of 1967. So this was sold in a supermarket. There was a supermarket sticker on the back. And then someone had it put in a frame. And the frame is original. I just cleaned that and left it alone. It's a little bit worn on the edges, but I just left that alone. And if you recall, on the back of that was this diploma. That was used as a backboard for this. So I was originally thinking of making a frame for this, but this past weekend I was at a yard sale and found two frames that were the right size. So I decided on this frame. It's a nice old frame. It's got some nice wear. It looks like the right age for the diploma. And once again, just cleaned the frame. And this glass was in the frame, so I just reused the glass. It's a nice old piece of glass. And of course, all the pictures, put paper on the back. And a couple of frames I put new wires on, and this one I reused the wire that was on this one. Now, one interesting thing is last weekend I was out doing a little bit of trash picking as well, and came up with this. I found this. It's another high school diploma, and I did nothing to this. I just cleaned it, cleaned the glass, and it was just like this, except it didn't have any paper on the back, so I just added the paper to the back and put a new wire on it. So that's another local high school. And of course, here's this other one. I found this last weekend. So I'm just going to leave this one alone. I just cleaned the glass and it looks nice. Now I've got 4 nice items to sell down at the new shop. So that's it for this one.